Test, test, 1, 2, test, 1, 2, test, 1, 2, 3.
Just me. Hello. Hi, we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 6 o'clock. Please continue to get your desserts and coffee. So welcome again to the Steward Recognition event. Hopefully everyone enjoyed their dinner and dessert. It's such an absolute pleasure to be able to kick off the awards part of the event this evening. And as you have already seen, the recognition team as well as the Conservancy staff have made this a really nice event, a nice evening so far. So We do have people joining us virtually. I can kind of see them in the distance here, but there's cameras around the room. Can we have you all wave to the people at home that are joining us? Okay. For those who don't know me, my name is John Parente, and until yesterday, I was the patrol chair. Yes, I want to applaud for that too. So, I've been a steward for about 3 years. Fun fact about me, my two biggest phobias are public speaking and rattlesnakes. So, yeah, maybe I should think of a better second career choice, right? So, as I look out over the lovely audience tonight with colleagues and friends, I'm reminded of the iconic saguaro. You know what's coming next, right? Fun facts about the saguaro. The saguaro is a sentinel cactus in the Sonoran Desert. We as stewards are also guardians of the preserve. Saguaros nurture the ecosystem by providing food and shelter for many desert species. We also nurture the preserve with the work that we do to keep the preserve alive and well. And finally, many saguaros are older than the state of Arizona. So are many as stewards, older than the preserve. So all kidding aside, I want to do a couple introductory housekeeping instructions. So we ask that for each category you hold your applause to everyone in the category is called. Just like that. Perfect. Thanks, John. So as they call the name for each category, we want you to come up to stage right, which is my left, over to where Julie is, and go up on the stage over there, and then we'll all applaud, and then we'll go back and you'll stand in front of the lovely banners over there and you'll get your photo taken. So now please welcome to the stage Julie Hitt and Rick Parsons, who are the co-chairs of the Steward Recognition Team.
Thank you, John. Welcome, everyone. We've been working really hard all year to not only put this event together, but to tabulate all the hours and to put all these awards together. I want to thank Juan for putting the photo montage together. Everybody had an opportunity to look at that. On your table, there is a card. We need your photos, so you can take that card with you, and it's how to label those and to put those into that catalog for us to use for future events. I also want to, as they said, I'm Julie Hitt, this is Rick Parsons. We're co-leads for the recognition committee, but we also couldn't have done this without the help of our team and our recognition committee. So if we could have those people stand up. And give those applause. Thank you for your help on that, and I'll turn it over to Rick.
So I don't know if you noticed on the photo montage, but we had the power of you. That is the theme for this year's event. So what does the power of you look like? Well, it's 35,000 patrol engagements. What does it look like? It's 75,000 trailhead ambassador engagements. What else does it look like? It's over 67,000 hours of volunteer. Now, it's easy to get lost in those big numbers of engagements and hours. What it is really important is the daily one-on-one interaction that we have with the visitors to the preserve, whether it's a youth that we're sparking interest, or whether we're just protecting the natural beauty of our preserve. So Steve's, in our newest efforts with Ability 360, we're impacting the public in a new way. So Steve Sekenek related a story to me recently that went like this, that on his first guided bike with Ability 360, it was extremely impactful. They were out at Cathedral Rock taking a break, and he climbed through the hole in the rocks there to take a photo of the beautiful skyline in the preserve. And when he came back, one of the participants said, "Can I see that photo?" And Steve was initially worried that he had done something wrong. She comes back and she said, "Thank you for showing me something that I'm unable to see." So if you have not yet read The Spring Mountain Lines, please make sure to read the powerful article by Amy Gibson about Ability 360, what an impact that she had on a participant, and also what that participant, how it impacted her. It's a great story. So thank you to Amy, Steve, and all the stewards that are participating in that new endeavor of Ability 360. So the power of you is the difference you make every day in whatever program or activity you are participating in. So now please welcome to the stage our CEO, Justin Owen.
Thank you, Rick and Julie. Hopefully most of you know me, but if you don't, again, my name is Justin Owen. I have the honor and pleasure of being the CEO of the Conservancy every single day. I want to thank all of my staff members who are here tonight, dispersed around the table. I could not do what I do without the amazing staff that I have and all of the amazing stewards that we have. So when we talk about the theme of the power of you, that couldn't embrace our organization anymore. Before I start with just a couple quick remarks, which I know Art's in here and he's going to laugh. It's not as quick as last year because, yes, I was out for surgery. So that 45-second video is quicker than I've ever been. It won't be that fast, but I do want to thank the Arizona Community Foundation for supporting tonight's event in honor of Gary Dokes and his retirement. I also want to give a big shout out to Scott and the City of Phoenix, or City of Scottsdale. Ooh, see, there we go. I'm sorry, John's been rubbing off on me with this April Fool's Day jokes that we're trying to throw in there, so sorry if it's a fun joke. But the City of Scottsdale helps underwrite this and makes this possible, and we couldn't have such a fabulous and amazing night without their support as well. So thank you, Scott, and the City of Scottsdale. As Rick said, it's the power of you. When you look at the numbers of what our stewards are able to do, as he said, we had over 67,000 hours of service. For any of you that have been through S101, to remind you, in the organization that I was most recently from, we had 700 volunteers just like the Conservancy. But those 700 volunteers did about 5,000 hours of service a year. So our 700 stewards doing over 67,000 hours of service is monumental. You heard the numbers of engagements. We hit over 110,000 engagements with people in the preserve this year. That's absolutely phenomenal. With over 105 guided hike and bike events, almost 110 new stewards, 3 new or reimagined programs, including youth education, steward education, and community engagements, as well as the amazing work that our stewards did in helping us do 2 Expedition Days programs. To put that many youth through in the spring and the fall is monumental. And then I know the city and all the folks in our citizen science team are celebrating the amazing work that Conservancy did, partnering with the city to get the huge grant from the Arizona Department of Forestry and Fire Management to do wildfire mitigation in the preserve to protect this amazing place. It is only possible because of you, because of the stewards. The other thing that I want to celebrate that is only possible because of the work that you do is the growth that we've had in the amount of people that we reach outside of the preserve. This year, because of our youth education program and the work of the stewards that are going into the schools throughout the valley, we are serving over 5,500, that is 5,500 youth through the Conservancy's programs, where just 4 years ago that number was 250. In addition, we will have people around the world celebrating and using our research in invasive species to stop wildfires and loss of human life and property throughout the world because of the work that our stewards have done in that research. And additionally, while it's still rounding out, what our stewards have done working with Intel on the forefront of our drone work to identify species is leading edge and breaking new ground for fire departments, not only locally, but the impacts that it could have around the world, show the impacts that you have here, and will impact tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. And staying in line with tonight's theme, that is all because of you. It is the power of you and the power of all of you. So with that, I want to thank you for everything that you do. I kept it under 3 minutes. And happy April Fool's Day. Oh, see? And I almost forgot my next one. I would like to welcome up our CLT chair, Art Rance.
Thank you, Justin. My mission here is actually to talk longer than Justin, so we're going to work on that. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to follow the theme of the power of you and the power of us and go back in history a little bit. This organization would not exist if it wasn't for stewards. It's a volunteers started this organization, created it, and made it move forward. So without us, there would have been no conservancy. Without the stewards and the community volunteers, there would be no preserve. We wouldn't have a workshop. So this organization is not a soup kitchen type volunteer. It's not wheeling Charlie down to X-ray at the hospital. And most of you have heard me say that. I'm not going to mention the hospital anymore. I got too much trouble. Anyway, we do strategic planning. We execute the strategic plans that we create. We create our own structure through Stewardship 2010, 2020, and CATS. And we've created the structure that we use to run all our programs and our program leadership. About, I don't know, a month or so ago, I asked for some bios of about 25 stewards, and it was shocking to me what the talents and the experience and the life experience that our stewards have. We develop and deliver our own orientations, and we have amazing continuing education to make the knowledge base of our stewards something that's hard to duplicate. It's hard to find an organization like this that has so many well-educated and knowledgeable stewards and volunteers in the organization that they serve. Our science program, our research, couldn't happen without our citizen scientists. And that's one of our biggest funding sources, actually, too. We develop the software that coordinates everything we do. We develop our own public relations programs in the new program that Justin mentioned, the community engagement. And like every good organization, we even maintain our physical plant, the preserve, with our construction and maintenance crew. So let's go back to Charlie at the X-ray, and we're wheeling him down to the X-ray in the hospital, and compare it if the stewards were wheeling Charlie down. First of all, we would have created our own HIPAA and OSHA training processes. We would have learned everything about the hospital, every electrical outlet, every water fountain, every window view, where all the switches were. We would have learned who lived on the hospital grounds for the 2,000 years before they built the place. We would have figured out the best, most efficient, cost-effective, scenic, and fun way to get Charlie to X-ray. And it wouldn't have cost Charlie or the hospital a dime. And then by the time poor Charlie got to X-ray, we'd send him back on his electric gurney that was self-driving because we'd been so ingenious in the way we developed things. And along the way, Charlie would be sick of us because we taught him everything about his disease and every water fountain and everything in the hospital. And if he was from Minnesota, we would have told him that he couldn't wear that backless gown and flip-flops in January. So we are the Conservancy, and we all need to be proud of what we've created, who we are, and what we do every day. In service of what we do, we benefit the Conservancy and we change people's lives. And it's really all because of the power of you. I'd like to recognize a few people that you're going to see a lot of people up on the screen tonight that done a lot of nice things and amazing things, but there's a lot of people, a lot of stewards that are out in the field and out in the office every day doing the things that just make this place run that don't necessarily get recognized. The first one I noticed in the program is Barbara Radcliffe Montgomery here? Thank you, Barbara. She's stepping down from Mountain Lions, which was just mentioned. Done a great job on that, and it's difficult because we don't even have a replacement. You were so good. I'd like to recognize a specific group that I work with a lot, and that's the core leadership team chairs and assistant chairs. So if I could ask the outgoing CLT chairs and assistant chairs to stand up. These are the people that have served 2 years and more on the CL team. Thank you. And you'll know who they are because those are the people with the biggest smiles, like John said. We have the new chairs that are following in their footsteps and are going to bring new energy and new ideas to the Conservancy. Could I ask the new CLT chairs to stand up? Thank you. Thanks, way back in the back, Doug. So through the power of you, we change lives. And we do a lot of things where we don't get a lot of recognition, we don't get pay, and we do it because we love what we do. About, 6-8 weeks ago, I was in the office, and there was a steward sitting on the couch with a little 6-month-old cute little girl, and I said, "Oh, granddaughter." She said, "No, I'm babysitting." And she was there on a Saturday afternoon driving through the traffic at Pima to come down to the office so that a steward in training that she had just met 3 or 4 days before could finish, so he could finish his desert first aid to become a steward. So, somebody that she hardly knew, that she was going to spend her good Saturday afternoon babysitting this little girl, and that's what we do, just to help each other out. And Susan Canvick isn't here tonight, but I'd just like to say thanks and give her an applause, even though that she's not here. And some time ago, 6 months or a year ago, there was a father and a daughter who came up to Pima Dynamite, 6-year-old daughter, and it was her first mountain bike ride with Dad. She came up to the trailhead and she was nervous and not really knowing if she was really going to like this, and ran into one of our stewards who happened to be a biker. And the steward's out there giving her encouragement and pumping her up and high fives and telling her she can do it. So father and daughter go out for a short ride and they come back to the trailhead, and the daughter had a great time. And the steward's there and high fives again, congratulating her. It's probably stickers involved. This is the kind of thing that we do that changes people's lives. But this story's like one of those, I can't remember what, the Gingo knife story we used to, there's more. There's more to this. So the daughter and the father get back in the car, and on the way home, the daughter says, "Dad, I don't want to ride on the sidewalk by myself anymore. I want to come with you and ride where that lady works." So, but that's not all. Dad gets home and is impressed with the Conservancy, so he looks up the Conservancy, didn't know who we were, and he shows up at the fall fundraising breakfast, and writes us a check. But that's not all either. This guy's, the father is a prominent attorney in town with a specialty of land management and dealing with cities and municipal governments. And now Ben's on our board of directors. So this is how we stewards change people's lives, by just doing what we ordinarily do. And unfortunately, well, probably half of you can guess who that steward was. She's not here today. She was supposed to be here. But I just want to thank Patty Ziegler. So thank you for everything you do. Mike Roberts. Mike's one of those, he should have stood up when he left CLT, but now he's back at it. So we're going to have him see a psychiatrist.
I don't think that'll help out, actually. It's too late for that. I'm delighted to, this evening, announce the winners of the Chet Award. Now, the Chet Awards, as everyone probably knows, stand for character, heart, enthusiasm, and teamwork, as personified or exemplified by Chet and Andrews, who was repeatedly steward number 1, but he was certainly in at the start. And the rumor is that he would mentor every steward in that he wanted to meet them to make sure that they had their heart in the right place as they helped to grow the Conservancy. So the Chet Award is awarded to stewards who have less than 2 years service, so it's our launch pad. And as John said, when I call your name, please come up to the right side, receive your award, and stand on the stage, and then we'll applaud when everyone's gathered together. So first up, Bruce Bentcover. Or not. Mike Caporali. Scott Feldman. Robin Ferguson. I know Robin's here, he's sitting next to me. Bill Fletcher. Amy Gibson. We know she's not here, unfortunately. Chuck James. I know Chuck's here, I saw him earlier. Susan Camford couldn't be with us, but Lars Rohan is. And finally, Barbara Trapito-Lurie, who unfortunately is not here. But let's now congratulate our recipients. Thank you. Now I'm going to hand over to Gina Clark.
Mike was given instructions to bring the microphone down. Thank you, Mike. So I'm here to present the Behind the Scenes Awards. And that award is really everything, everywhere, all at once, but somehow invisible. The people that are recipients of this award do so many things, but most of it's behind the scenes. They're not public facing or in-field kind of work. They're actually in the office many times or in a classroom. But these, you're going to recognize all these names because that's not all they do. They do so many things. So the first group that I'm going to be talking about are the individual awards. There are 3 of them. And all 3 of them, I think we probably know them quite well. Sharon Fitz, class of 72. She truly seems to be everywhere. She can actually be seen cleaning trails. She's at the trailheads fixing plumbing. She's been the assistant chair for guided hike and bike with over 150 different events this year. She's been on the recognition team. She's been on the education team. She has, I think, really just done so many things in the Conservancy to support everything that we do. The next recipient, Juan Fogel, class of 67, is someone that we know is tracking tortoises whenever she can. She squeezes into any size spot to find out if there's a tortoise there, let alone answer a rattlesnake. She is also a snake charmer, as we know. She's a mentor. She created a photo repository. She pulls invasive plants. She's a hike leader, and she's a communications lead for citizen science. Our final recipient has earned the nickname, the elf in the office. And that's because of the variety of projects that John has tackled, including putting together office furniture when needed. He's worked on so many programs and assisted staff with so many projects. Somebody asked earlier, where do the pictures and the quotes that appear in the Thursday newsletter come from, and the flora and the fauna and the picture for that? Well, it's John Griffin, without failure, every week. That's what we get from him. So please give all these 3 stewards a round of applause. Congratulations. Our next award is for a team. This is for the S101 support team. This team ensures that every S101 class goes off without a hitch. And they're there for all the important things that make the new stewards in training feel so welcome. That's one thing we always hear at S101. I really feel so welcome. They're there the day before to set up. They'll clean the room if it has to be cleaned. They're going to order and pick up food. They also, well, at least one of them, will provide home-baked goods for every class. So that's 7 Saturdays in a season that they show up without failures. So please come on up. We have Sam Rogers, class of 67, Shirley Rogers, class of 80, and Marcia Tapelkai, class of 81. And our final behind the scenes award goes to the team that taught us how to always ask open-ended questions. So, for example, an open-ended question would be, John, now that you're not patrol chair, what's your plan? This team developed and implemented the Engaging the Public class. And this class has been taken already by over 183 stewards. And, you know, we like to actually measure our performance. And these stewards, when they were given a survey to see how the class was going, over 90% of the people that took the class said they felt more confident in working with the public. So this has been a class that has really taken us to the next level on how we engage with our visitors in the preserve. So please hold your applause until I call everybody up, and then please come up when your name is called. Janine Alsup, class of 57. Yes, you have to get on stage. Leah Goldman, class of 86. Carrie Olson, class of 73. John Parente, class of 85. Mike Roberts, class of 86. And Denise Villalon, class of 80. Congratulations. So now I'm going to invite Chris Crum up. for the Extraordinary Contribution Award.
Good evening, everybody. It's my pleasure to present the Extraordinary Contribution Award this year. The award goes to someone, a steward, who has contributed time, effort, and accomplishments that are clearly above and beyond the expectations of their given role. This year, the award goes to someone who is already a legacy steward and has distinguished himself. He has been the chair of 2 different programs, and the recipient, Franco Farina, continues to accept challenges and contribute time and effort well beyond expectations. The 2 key qualities of an outstanding steward are leadership and teamwork, and he's demonstrated these in great abundance. An example: when the Pathfinders suffered the early exit of 2 chairs in succession, he quickly responded to stabilize the situation. First, he came in as the assistant chair to help get things going. Next, he ended up taking over the chair again for the 2nd time in that same program. And then currently, he remains serving as the assistant chair to help the new leader. His efforts and unbounded enthusiasm, and you know that if you know Franco, served to revitalize the program and to attract new participants. He expanded activities like field trips and other experiential actions that increased our stewards' knowledge and ensured their continuing interest and involvement in the program. He demonstrates teamwork as a member of the group that created and presents the Sonoran Desert 101 class. I'm sure most of you are very familiar with that. It's a foundational program for all of our stewards, and it's now available to the public as well through an ASU continuous learning program. He's part of the team as well that is creating the Browns Ranch Interpretive Trail. It's another example of his teamwork as he currently partners with his steward team, with the city of Scottsdale, and with various consultants that are helping put this innovative and exciting new project and trail together. He also established and he now coordinates the Conservancy's Arizona Site Steward program. This is a relatively new program, and it serves to protect the fragile historical sites that are in the McDowell Sonoran Preserve so that those will continue to be viable and available for learning and for the future. If that isn't enough, in addition to these things that he's done in the last year or so, he continues to be involved in ongoing initiatives that include managing the cultural resource speakers for the Pathfinders monthly speakers program. He coordinates the desert first aid classes for stewards, and he develops and presents a variety of guided hike and bike, both on the bicycle and on the trail, to make sure that people get the most out of visiting the preserve. So I think that's enough. I don't need to go on and on. He is quite an exemplary steward. I'm proud to work with him, and I want to congratulate Franco Farina as our Extraordinary Contribution Award. Unfortunately, for all of us, and especially for him, he's got a bug, and he's not able to join us here tonight. But I will say that I know he's watching, and he is able, I understand from all the cameras, he's able to see us. So if we can give him an applause and a wave, and we'll say, congratulations, Franco. We miss you. Get well soon. And now I'll introduce Scott Hamilton, our preserve manager from the city of Scottsdale.
Good evening, everybody. It's truly an honor to be here with you all tonight to celebrate the hard work and accomplishments of the past season. We've gotten to do this year after year, and it's so wonderful to see all the people who have been around for a while, all the new people, that energy and enthusiasm, and with the Chet Award earlier, if Chet knew that this was still going on, it's a really important thing. And pretty close to my heart, having been, I love seeing all your class numbers. I was here for class 1 at the very beginning with Chet, so it's a pretty special thing. So it's also no secret that the Preserve flourishes because of the partnership between the Conservancy and the city. It's our partnership that initially inspired the creation of the Preserve. It would not have happened without that. And we've gotten to this point. All of the progress, all of the thousands of acres of land acquisition, the dozens of miles of trails, the trailheads, the public contacts, everything that we do and that we know happens because of this partnership. And that partnership is also what's going to perpetuate the Preserve into the future. So the foundation of this partnership is you, the stewards. You bring unparalleled advocacy, ownership, enthusiasm to the Preserve. You'll often hear it described in dollars and cents, and that's important. Our politicians and accountants and everybody love to know all the hours that are put in and all the dollars that offsets. But I've always said this, that it's impossible to put a dollar value on that energy and enthusiasm that comes from the stewards. So tonight, I have the unique honor to present the City Award. Each year, this award is given to a steward who provides a significant contribution to the needs of the city of Scottsdale and of the Preserve. Our city staff team conferred, as we do every year, and like every year, we have a long list. It's not an easy choice, but this year, one person rose to the top of our list. This person has dedicated thousands of hours of their time and energy towards achieving the goals of the Preserve. In fact, I read in the program tonight, 13,000 hours to be specific. This person is a leader. They also inspire others with their hard work and dedication, and they truly represent the spirit of preservation and of the steward community. They've done just about every job there is to do with the Conservancy and with this Preserve, and with the Preserve. And when this person enters the Preserve, the invasive bufflegrass and fountain grass plants shudder. And we love that. So, please join me tonight in congratulating Paul Staker as this year's recipient of the City Award. I saw some bufflegrass in the parking lot, by the way. And with that, I will welcome Justin Owen back to the stage.
Yes, Scott was here for class 1. He forgets to tell you he was 10 years old. I'm like, Scott, I wish I could age like you someday. I am here tonight to present the CEO's Award. The CEO Award is given to one steward each year who has contributed greatly to the Conservancy's staff goals. So we have all of the amazing goals with the city and all of the goals through our CLT planning, Stewardship 2020, all of our programs, but we also have some very fun but not always exciting stuff that also has to get done, but we couldn't do, as I said earlier, what we do without the amazing stewards that help us run the organization. The steward that the staff conferred and nominated for the award this year has spent their steward career primarily focused on and supporting other stewards and our staff to achieve their goals. They've balanced a unique combination of big picture strategic thinking with the operational skills to drive projects and efforts to completion. They quickly became the chair of the newly formed Steward Experience Program, where I am very proud of, whose mission is to ensure that every steward's journey is successful. They're also the current CLT Vice Chair and the chair of the CLT Planning Committee. They have guided a team in less than 1 year through many, many successful initiatives since we came back from our brief break for COVID. Among these are engaging the public workshops, a new Steward World website, a robust CLT orientation, a yearly refresher for our core leadership team members. As well, her team managed the steward side of the tactics of the Conservancy strategic plan, and they have undertaken a change management process to streamline the steward, staff, city communications. They're also active on the Conservancy's Justice, Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Accessibility Initiative, and their efforts have advanced our new Staff Buddy program. If you're not aware, this program pairs all of our new staff members with a senior steward buddy that helps the staff understand the unique experience of being a steward. The success of the Conservancy staff is intimately tied to the success of the steward organization, and in everything this person does, they're always facilitating and promoting partnerships between the staff and the stewards. And I'm very excited this year the award goes to Susan Matthews. And with that, I would like to welcome up Gary Dokes to present our Lead Steward Awards.
Thanks, Justin. Hello, everyone. I'm here to present the award to those stewards who've met the requirement to become a lead steward. I became a lead steward last year, and it's an honor for me to be here today to give out this award. To become a lead steward, you have to have at least 2 hours of service with the preserve. You have completed over 500 cumulative hours, have been active in 2 programs, as well as served as a mentor and held leadership positions. What I'd like for you to do again, like others, is just hold your applause as I call these names out of the lead stewards. Kathy Coluccio, class 67. Anita Durham, class 85. Bill Jackson, class 31. Steve Sukenik, class 64. And Denise Valian, class 80. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I'd like to introduce Barbara Montgomery Radcliffe, who's going to present the award for Master Steward.
So to qualify as a Master Steward, you have to have been a lead steward for at least 2 or more years. And you had to have had at least 1,500 cumulative hours with at least 4 program areas and at least 100 hours per program. You have to have participated in 20 educational events. You have to have held at least 2 leadership positions and 2 support positions. You have to have contributed at least 60 hours and $60 a year since January 2018 or since becoming a steward. You can see that the Master Stewards are pretty special people. And so I am very privileged to be here introducing the new Master Stewards for this year. I've worked with each of them, and I admire their commitment to the preserve and to the Conservancy and to the city and to our visitors. You see it in everything they do. So I'm going to read their names, and when I read their names, they will come up onto the stage. And when everybody has, when all the names have been called, then please do give them a round of applause, but hold your applause until they're all up here. Gina Clark, class of '73. Susan Matthews, class of '76. Carrie Olson, class of '73. Brian Ray, class of '46. And John Zekias, class of '81. Thank you. And now Lynn Marxis is going to come up and present some others.
Good evening. Can you all hear me? Good. Happy trails. Trails take us to places we want to go. Every one of us in this room, look around, every one of us in this room tonight followed a trail to stewardship with the McDowell Sonoran Conservancy. For all of us, it has been rewarding. Sometimes we have outstanding stewards, master stewards, for example, legacy stewards, who because of changes in life have to follow a trail where they need to go. And we're going to honor one of them tonight, and that is Ellis Bowder, class 12. If it is not an imposition, Ellis, I would like you to stand. Ellis is following a trail to family in California. Ellis came to us through class 12. She, along with her husband, will be traveling off to the land where the sun sets over the ocean. Her achievements while she has been here with us are the following. She's a longtime Pathfinder and Trailhead Ambassador. She served on the Stewardship 2020 team. She was the CLT secretary for many years. She was an avid patroller in the northern areas of the preserve. And she has written the Thursday newsletter since it was inscribed on stone tablets passed down from Mount Sinai. No small thing. If you like me and envy people who know how to write crisply, Ellis's ability to do that has always impressed me, and I think it's impressed and served all of us very well. Thank you for that, Ellis. We have a few testimonials from people who said that they definitely want to go on record for the impact that Ellis has had on their time in the Conservancy. And so, if you'll just allow me 2 more minutes or so. In the early years, Ellis met Heather Scott from Class 11. They were working together at the Lost Dog Trailhead as ambassadors, pathfinders at that time. They decided that they'd take a hike on a Tuesday, which turned out to be a hike that was taken almost every Tuesday, covering most of the trails in the preserve. It's been a fast friendship over the years, even though, according to Heather, the hiking has now become walking. David Lorenz, Class 9, back in 2011, took friends and stewards to the Grand Canyon on an 8-day rafting trip on the Colorado River. I don't know about you, but I'm sorry I missed that one. Alice joined and was enthralled by the trip, calling it one of the top outdoor experiences of her life. Ellis became a role model for many other stewards, helping them to understand the history of the Conservancy and how to engage with visitors in the preserve. Rich Cochran, Class 28, credits Ellis with laying the foundation for his work as a pathfinder and in other programs including nature guides and guided hike and bike. And finally, B.J. Tatro, Class 7, fondly remembers Ellis and her work as a pathfinder and trailhead ambassador and her involvement in several other activities. Here's a quote. "You can always count on Ellis to be there and to do an excellent job at whatever she takes on with no fanfare. She is rock solid." For those of you who know BJ, you know that that endorsement is substantial. Ellis, we're going to miss you. Please stand again. Oh, I'm sorry. You have an award? And our next series of awards is going to involve a little bit of coordination, but I have Rick Parsons here who will keep me on the straight and narrow. We are going to now present the Legacy Steward Awards. What are the criteria? Well, first of all, a Legacy Steward has to be someone who has served as a Master Steward, 5 or more years of consistent service since becoming a Master Steward, 4,000 cumulative hours, and at least 60 hours and $60 a year in terms of moral and financial support for the Conservancy. There is also an expectation of significant leadership activities contributing to the improvement and the success of the Conservancy. We have 3 individuals who will be honored this evening, and you all know who they are, and you all know what they have done. But this is April 1st, and we will let no opportunity to embarrass people go unaddressed. So, shall we go from here?
3, 2, 1, and then I'm just going to take my time and kind of walk over there so the front section for you. 3, 2, 1. What did you pay the program? That's what I'm describing. Why I continue on, whatever that one is.
Legacy Steward designee is Chris Crum.
I think on an ongoing basis, what's kept me interested in the ball is really a combination of three different things. First would be the opportunity to learn new things. We've had many of us today. And following that, the idea of sharing, being a teacher, so to speak, and being able to give that back to other people. And then the third thing would be the ability to make an impact, in the Conservancy and then hopefully even beyond, because of the Conservancy's mission and activities. There's so much to learn. There's so many different things. That's what ever really gets stale. We learn not just by one group of classroom training, but we learn from the classroom, from lectures, from visitors, as well as from, for example, taking a hike, an educational hike, and getting information from that. So all of that goes to why it's so interesting and easy, so to speak, to continue to learn. The second part of that is the idea of sharing what we learn. So the idea of giving back to a broad audience. The audiences include certainly our fellow stewards, where we learn something, we teach our fellow stewards, and they'll take it from there. We have the general public who shows up on hikes and attends our lectures and other activities, so they take a sort of a different touch, and that requires some interesting approaches sometimes. And then field trips, the idea of going out and learning in the field, whether it's the preserve or somewhere else in the region where we can see things firsthand, learn and study, and then bring them back. So that's all part of the education process and sharing. As to the third area of interest, keeping things interesting, the idea of being involved in and with the Conservancy to the point where you can actually help make things happen and further what the Conservancy is all about. So how to stay interested, how do I stay interested? I think it's the idea to get involved in as many things as you can. And in the end, the idea I think is to feel really good about doing good. And I think that's a great reason for staying involved and
Our third designee as a legacy steward is Art Rands.
So what's been my favorite event or program in the Conservancy? It's been difficult to choose because there's so many opportunities in the Conservancy. I'd have to narrow it down to S101. It was great to participate in some of the changes in S101 because of the staff and the stewards that participated in that process. It also gave me an opportunity to be involved with some of the more enthusiastic stewards, and that's the stewards in training. But probably more importantly, it challenged me to get to know the Conservancy well. I needed to learn the 10 different programs and what they did and who ran the programs. I needed to understand all the staff and their talents and devotion that they brought to the Conservancy. I needed to understand the mission and vision and the strategic plan of the Conservancy. And finally, I needed to get to know the 5 1/4 famous people that we call the city. So as I went through that process, I started to realize how many great things we did at the Conservancy and really developed a sense of pride in being part of this organization and all the good things that it does for us as stewards, but also in the community. When I first joined the Conservancy, I wanted to have nothing to do with meetings or administrative things. All I wanted to do was spend time in the desert, riding my bike, and hiking. In fact, I even got called Moses a couple of times. But I have 2 character defects that got me in trouble. One is that when I look at a process, an operation, a procedure, a program, I'm always looking for ways to make them better, faster, more efficient, or have a better outcome. The second problem that I have is I can't keep my mouth shut. So with a combination of those 2, I eventually started to get in charge of various small programs. But I realized I really didn't have a lot of experience in that world because I was used to running teams of 3, 4, 5, 6 people. But I realized that there was a huge pool of very able stewards that had great experience and big-time leadership and knew how to manage big programs. So I surrounded myself with them. And that's really the reason I keep coming back, because they challenge me, they teach me things, they keep me outside of my comfort zone so that I learn new things. They make it a challenge and give me purpose to stay with the Conservancy. Some of those people don't even know who they are, but I'd like to thank all of them for everything they've done to make my steward journey and enrich my life. Well, I have a lot of favorite memories, but probably I have one most profound memory. We were out riding one day, I think it was a whiskey bottle with a couple of stewards and some new people that weren't stewards, and the fellow in front of me I'd never met before, but he's leading the ride, and all of a sudden he stops pedaling and just melts into the trail. So when I get to him, he's not breathing, he has no pulse. So to make a long story short, we tended to him. Fortunately, there was a helicopter in the area that came within a couple of minutes. They took him to the hospital. They put some electronics in his chest, and 6 days later, he buys us dinner. But that's not the end of the story. He then was so grateful for what we had done that he attended S101, and now he's a steward, and we continue to ride with him.
When I grow up, I want to be like them. Thank you all for your patience. It's been a wonderful evening, and now we return control of the con to our wonderful Master of Ceremonies.
Wow, what a talented group of people, right? Tonight we acknowledge the wonderful accomplishments of the individual stewards with our theme, The Power of You. Even better is the power of each of us together becomes the power of us. And that's a strong force, all the people in the room, all the stewards working together. We want to thank thanks to all of our new stewards and new leaders for keeping the Conservancy strong. We want to thank all of our stewards and the Conservancy staff for all you do every day to keep our preserve safe and enjoyable for all of our visitors, as well as maintaining it as a crown jewel for the city of Scottsdale. A very special thank you to all the people on the screen here, and a round of applause, please. This is a steward recognition team and the Conservancy staff who put this whole program together for us tonight. That includes our AV and audio team as well here. So at dinner, Justin's told me that during National Volunteer Week, which is coming up the 16th to the 22nd, any stewards who volunteer will get time and a half. Before you go this evening, there are bags in the back that will have your names on them if you're getting a pin. The pins are going anyone who's a mentor to new stewards, anyone who's had a cumulative lifetime hours milestone, which I believe is 1, 2, 3, 4,000, etc. And then anyone who has a years of service milestone starting at 5, 10, 15, etc. There's also stickers on the back for Conservancy sustainers. So if you see your name in the program, make sure you stop at the back table there. I want to give a quick shout out to Kerry Olson in the back for helping me with the fun facts. And I'm going to leave you with one last fun fact, is the bats, where's Jesse? Bats see with sound, okay? They use something called echolocation, which is a physiologic process where they emit from their larynx an ultrasonic wave that reflects back, picked up by their specialized ears, to navigate even in the dark. Remember, you cannot echolocate, so please drive safely on your way home. Thanks for coming this evening. Anyone who can stay, please meet with Rick or Bill to help break down the tables and chairs and whatnot. Thanks, everyone.